Hey guys, up? Back with another video. As you can see, we got the greatest Royal Rumble in front of me, so that only means one thing. We're going to review this motherfucker. So let's get this underway, shall we? We kick off the show, we kick off the greatest Royal Rumble 2018 with John Cena versus Triple H. Two legends fighting each other in Saudi Arabia. This is the first Saudi show under the WWE regime. So, yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, got John Cena versus Triple H in the opener. It was okay. It was, they knew exactly what they were doing. The crowd were kind of eating out of the palm of their hands early on, and John Cena and Triple H put on a decent matchup, a decent opener. Pretty interesting night was the opening match. Seeing it's John Cena versus Triple H, but it is what it is. So, anyway. Very interesting matchup, and John Cena picked up the victory over Triple H, kicking off this Saudi show. So there you go. John Cena wins, and it was okay. I thought it was pretty decent. It was okay. It was a decent matchup. Decent, okay. One or the other. It was decent. Next match we had Kalisto taking on Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championship. Of course, Cedric Alexander was the Cruiserweight Champion. He won it at WrestleMania on the kickoff show, which I didn't watch. But yeah, here he is defending the title on the main show of the Greatest Royal Rumble against Kalisto. It was a pretty decent matchup. It was okay. The crowd wasn't into it that much, but it was what it was. It was a 205 live match, Cruiserweight title match, and Cedric Alexander got a good win in the end with a good finish. Kalisto went for his finisher, the Salida del Sol, basically like the sliced bread, and Cedric turned that into the lumbar check, which involves driving his knees right into Kalisto's spine. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool finish and a good end to a fun Cruiserweight title match. Then next up we had Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt taking on the bar of Sheamus and Cesaro for the vacated Raw Tag Team titles. This was a pretty nothing match, really. It was kind of like a TV match with a very predictable outcome. Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy were on Raw, and Sheamus and Cesaro were drafted to SmackDown at this point. And they were competing for the vacated Raw Tag Team titles. So it was only kind of obvious where it was going. And Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy picked up the win. There was some cool spots with Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. I think they could have done more with Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy as a tag team. But it was what it was, and they won the tag team titles here. And of course, they would go on. They would go on and go on. We'll get on to that later down the road. But it was what it was. It was okay. It was the match was not really like a TV match. Really, nothing really stood out. And we move on to the next match, which was Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal for the United States Championship. Again, a nothing matchup, kind of like a TV match. Jeff Hardy was the United States Champion coming in as he beat Jinder Mahal on Raw to win the United States title, ending Jinder Mahal's title reign at 8 days as Jinder Mahal won the title at WrestleMania from Randy Orton. So now Jeff Hardy is United States champion, and he took the title to SmackDown. So Jinder Mahal was on Raw, Jeff Hardy was on SmackDown, and Jeff Hardy retained the championship. And a pretty nothing match. The only memorable spot was a botch where Jeff Hardy went for the Whisper in the Wind, and Jinder was nowhere in position, and Jeff Hardy kind of just took a bumper next to him, and Jinder just fell over for the sake of it. So yeah, it is what it is. It was a nothing match, but Jeff Hardy still won, and there you go. On to the next match. We had the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. This was pretty decent. I wish it would have got more time. These two teams never disappoint, and this was no different. My only nitpick is I wish it would have lasted a little bit longer. But yeah, Bludgeon Brothers got the win, and big thumbs up to that one. Next match, we have the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. We have Seth Rollins defending the championship against The Miz, Finn Balor, and Samoa Joe in a ladder match. This was an okay ladder match. This was okay. Nothing too crazy, nothing outlandish. But my only nitpick in this match was I was kind of head scratching why Samoa Joe was in this match, because Samoa Joe was booked for a match against Roman Reigns at the Backlash pay-per-view, which was already set up before this show. So, and of course Roman Reigns was kind of like the main event scene at this point. So it was kind of weird that they would put Samoa Joe in this mid-card Intercontinental Championship match. But it was what it was. So it was good, it was good while it lasted. Nothing too crazy, as I said, but it was alright. Nothing memorable. But it was okay for this night, and Seth Rollins retained the IC title, basically stealing it from Finn Balor, as Finn Balor went to grab it grab the belt from the hook. Seth Rollins jumped springboarded in onto the ladder and basically grabbed it before Finn Balor could, and pulled it down. And in the meantime, smacking Balor in the head with the belt as he grabbed it, he pulled it down, accidentally hit Balor in the head, busted him open. So yeah, so Seth Rollins retained. Another cool match for the Architect, and we move on. And we move on to the WWE Championship match. We have the WrestleMania rematch between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. AJ Styles was the babyface, Shinsuke Nakamura was the heel, as he turned heel at WrestleMania. This match was okay. It was starting to get really good, and then of course we had a lame double count out finish to extend the program, to extend this feud another couple of pay-per-views. So yeah, it was a good match, but it was kind of let down by a lame double count out finish. So yeah, that's basically it. And we move on to the next match. We have Rusev versus The Undertaker. This was The Undertaker's greatest hits. The Undertaker's greatest hits. Basically, sorry, my hand's going a bit numb. Sorry. Undertaker versus Rusev. Undertaker. This was basically, as I said, this was Undertaker's greatest hits. It didn't matter who his opponent was. It was always going to be. The outcome was always going to be the same. Just happened to be Rusev. Poor Rusev. It was a sad Rusev day for the third pay-per-view in a row. It was a sad Rusev day. But this time he had to face The Undertaker, and I was surprised of how much Rusev got in with The Undertaker. It wasn't a squash job as I was expecting it to be. But Rusev got a little bit of offense in. He even got the accolade in it on The Undertaker at one point. But of course, the outcome was always going to be The Undertaker putting both Aiden English and Rusev into the casket with no trouble, and The Undertaker is victorious in his own kind of match. As the dead man rises again. Yeah. And of course, that leaves us on to the last two matches. We have the next match, the steel cage match for the Universal Championship, as Brock Lesnar defended the Universal Championship against Roman Reigns. This match was okay. It was typical Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns stuff, as you would expect. Suplexes, F5s, Superman punches, spears, that kind of thingy. I kind of counted them throughout the way. We had 4 German suplexes, 2 F5s, multiple Superman punches. I lost count of how many Superman punches were, and 5 spears. And the 5th spear speared Brock right through the cage wall, and Brock Lesnar had a controversial finish to the steel cage match where they didn't know who hit the ground first, but Lesnar was declared the winner because his back hit the floor because of technicality. Because Roman speared him through the wall, Brock Lesnar's back hit the floor, even though it's supposed to be both feet hit the floor. It's just another way to get, it was just a controversial finish, kind of a shitty finish to set up another Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match later down the line in 2018. So, it was okay. The match I enjoyed the match a little bit more than I did at WrestleMania because, 1, it wasn't the main event, and 2, it went like half the time of the WrestleMania match. So, yeah, Brock retains, and we move on to the next match, which is the 50-man Royal Rumble, the main event of the evening, the 50-man Royal Rumble. This was fun. I had a fun time with this match. It kicked off with Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler in the Royal Rumble. When we had altercations between Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle, and Chad Gable got in there, and he was good. Elias was there. Braun Strowman and Dapper Kato had a good square off. Mark Henry was in there. The fake Yokozuna was in there. That was fun. And Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho and Daniel Bryan all had an interaction with each other, which was fun. Shane McMahon did a crazy dive, got chokeslammed off the top rope through the announce table by Braun. Took this insane bump as usual. It was okay. It was a fun match, a fun main event, and kind of raised my score a little bit because I wasn't. But I was going to give it a 5 out of 10, but then this kind of bumped it up a little bit. So yeah, and of course the winner of the match was Braun Strowman. Daniel Bryan went all the way to the final 3. It was him and Dolph Ziggler started, and he went all the way to the final 3 before being eliminated by his Backlash opponent, Big Cass. And then, of course, Braun Strowman eliminated Big Cass to win the Royal Rumble. My opinion, good choice for the winner of the Royal Rumble, Braun Strowman. I wish this would have led to Braun Strowman becoming the number 1 contender for the Universal Championship. But I digress. We went with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar again. But, it was what it was. I wish that I wish that would have made Braun Strowman the number 1 contender, because it just felt like Braun won the match and got nothing really out of it. So, anyway, that's just my little bit of a nitpick when it came to the Royal Rumble. It was a good Royal Rumble that didn't really mean anything, and that's a shame. Oh, and I almost forgot. How could I go through the greatest Royal Rumble without mentioning one of the greatest spots in the Royal Rumble? Titus World Slide. Oh man, Jesus Christ, reliving that. Oh man, poor guy. All I got to say, I think I've said this before, is thankfully it was the ring skirt. It was a ring skirt rather than the LID board that they have usually for the apron, because that could have been ended disastrous. One bad more move. Thankfully, it's a joke we laugh about, but one wrong move and Titus could have been decapitated by the metal bars on the ring that hold the ring in place, or the LID boards if they were there. Thankfully, they weren't there for that night. So Titus was real lucky, and we can all laugh about it today. So poor Titus. Anyway. Yeah, that was it for my Royal Rumble, my greatest Royal Rumble 2018 review. I gave it a 6 out of 10 overall. Pretty average event. I rated it a bit higher than the Crown Jewel 2018 event that I reviewed a couple months ago. But still, there were some problems, but it was, for the most part, it was, nothing really offended me too much. Apart from the fact that we're getting another Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match. But I already knew that, because we're in 2023. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed my review, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you deserve it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. I don't know when that will be. It will be back. I know for guarantee it will be Backlash 2018. Don't know when that will be, but look out for it. So I'll let you know in a bit. And I'm out.